Our trade sits at his desk, coffee in hand. The NASDAQ charts on his screen, he's in command. He's a day trader, chasing dollars and dreams. Using ICT concepts, he's got some tricks up his sleeves. From Fibonacci retracements to volume spread analysis, Tyler knows the smart money, he's gaining an advantage. He watches the market like a hawk in the sky. With every tick and every turn, he's catching the high. Running with the smart money, kicking up dust. Tyler trades a day trader you can trust. Dancing with the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks, he's a millionaire. Dancing with the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks, he's a millionaire.
If you want to come into this as a victim, you're going to see everything and you're a victim to it. The way I teach, you're victimizing the unlearned. You're victimizing the neophyte. They don't know how to fucking trade. They put their stop loss in the wrong place. We're running on them. We're not running in a pack like a wild animals, okay, trying to find whatever moves next. That's reacting to price. Fuck that. We are a cheetah. We know we can run any fucking thing down. We can run anything down. Put whatever fuck you want to put in front of us, whatever method out there, we will run circles around that shit. Nothing can fucking beat what I'm telling you. Nothing can beat this. Nothing. If it could, it would have came. It's never come. You are a cheetah stalking in the high grass. And there's a herd out there. They think they're safe because they're close. They're all doing the same thing, eating the grass. They're hanging around, same people, doing the same shit. Harmonic, retail, Elliott wave shit. You're the cheetah. You're sitting out there in the long grass. You're just waiting. You're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And you see that one gazelle just takes a step too far out and puts his stop loss right there. Easy for the taking. The herd is going to move away, but that one animal that doesn't know what it's doing, it doesn't shift when it should. And now there's a fair value gap. In 72 miles an hour, in seconds, your ass is there pouncing on it. That's what I'm envisioning in price. Do I know that person that's losing money? No. Do I know the person that has all their hopes and expectations of making money on that trade? Do I know them? Am I going to see them? No. Am I worried about them? No. Do I feel bad that they lost money? No. I have to eat. You have to eat. Everybody signs the same risk disclosures when you come into this market. Everybody understands that you can lose and lose more than you have. I have no qualms about it, period. It's the way it is. It's a jungle out here. You either are prey or you're a predator. I don't walk around or teach my students to be a lamb. This is the way it is, folks. You have to have teeth and you have to have claws. And you need to know when to use them and how to use them. You want to come in here and play the nice guy role and everybody, is going to love you and you never say anything wrong or never off color or whatever. Bottom line is, that's not what this is. This is fucking war. We're talking about money, real money, lots of it, and major entities out there that do not want you to be doing this successfully. They're going to roll on that. And I'm teaching you how to beat the fuck out of that, okay? Consistently.
Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, ladies and gents. Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the stream. Like the stream on your way in. If you'd be ever so kind, boys and girls, it would mean a lot to me. Let me make sure audio is good here quick, and then let me pull the chat box up, see who we all got in here on this beauty of a day, huh? Come on now. All right, let's see. Good morning, Maida. Good to see you. Dawson, good morning. Allie, Zach, RP396, good morning. Pair05. Oh. Fix that quick. ICT Silver Bullet, good morning. Good morning, Derek. Good morning, guys. How you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. Happy PPI day. My bad. I was having a little bit of technical difficulties as I was opening up the stream, but I think we're all good. I think we are all good to go. So, diving into some charts here, boys and girls. First and foremost, obviously, again, PPI pre-market. So this is already passed. We don't have any more news to worry about today. So we're all good there. We obviously have CPI tomorrow. So, I am proceeding with caution today. Mainly just due to the fact that, yes, it is PPI, red folder news, but it also is the day before CPI, and generally the day before CPI, the day before NFP, could be a day that just gets taken off. So just proceeding with caution is all. Not really attaching myself to any big expectations necessarily. If we get something great, if not, it is what it is. But just having the proper expectation, obviously, coming into the market today. So first and foremost, let me go ahead and let's do this. Let's take a look at these indices side by side. A couple things I want to point out. So I want to go all the way out to the monthly. Or I'm sorry, let me go out to the weekly. And looking here at these weekly candles between ES and NASDAQ, one thing that is starting to form on these weekly candles is, so far we have swept previous weekly low, and you can see right now we're wicking back inside of the previous weekly candle range, which could indicate some bullish bullish reaction, maybe some distribution to the upside. I kind of feel like the main distribution of this week is obviously probably being saved for tomorrow, however, and after tomorrow. So, like I said, just proceed with caution today. I'm just starting to frame a little bit of a bias with this reaction here off of the previous weekly low. Between ES and NQ, both reacting the same way. The only thing that threw me off on the monthly chart was, man, it just kind of felt as if, you know, you can see the discrepancy a little bit here in the structure of this November monthly candle. Obviously, December came, we ran the highs out, and then traded back into the range. And, you know, I kind of was thinking earlier this week that it'd be possible for price to expand down for these relative equal lows here on E-mini S&P. Take out October and November. Previous monthly lows. And then obviously as you scale in just one time frame to the weekly, then it kind of starts to look a little bit different, like we might not get that delivery. But just so you guys know kind of where my head is at in terms of possibilities here and trying to frame a bias, frame different scenarios, so on and so forth. Continuing to scale in here on the daily. This is where we're kind of at a turning point, if you will, crossroads in the market. As you scale in again to the daily, we're inside of this daily imbalance on NASDAQ and ES. So obviously if we are bearish and we do end up expanding on ES towards that 776 sell side, then obviously we're going to want to see this hold and then push price lower. So that's a very strong possibility here as well, kind of in between some PD arrays at the moment. So you got the previous weekly low swept, could give a little bit of an indication of bullishness, and then you scale in a little bit more and you see us trading into a bearish PD array. So you could make an argument for both sides of the market, I guess, is moral of the story. With where we're at, 4 hour. Traded down into this imbalance, volume imbalance, BISI. Respecting new week opening gap, weekly open. I'm just going to continue to kind of scale in here. See if anything looks more clear. We did have this SMT divergence here on the hourly with these highs with the PPI data candle. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't change this one yet. Black. Yep. I don't know. It's kind of this kind of looks like this close here, this previous hourly candle. I feel like this looks bullish. So I kind of think this SMT might fail. And we see price expand. Mark with this inefficiency here on ES. We've got the same inefficiency here, but it's what it looks like here as this hourly is forming. Here's your 30-minute. Yeah, look at that fair value gap here. Inside of discount of this range from PPI. I'll flip that. Yeah, traded down pretty perfectly into about OTE of this range. Hit this fair value gap, hit this breaker here. Now price expanding quickly to the upside here at the open. SMT as well at these lows. Yeah, I think this SMT at the highs is going to fail, to be honest. But yeah, that's kind of all I got for right now, guys. Just letting this play out here a little bit into the open. Like I said, I feel like you can frame both directions on the weekly, you know, daily, kind of conflicting, but I guess we'll soon find out here. And again, day before CPI, so who knows if we get more manipulation today going into CPI tomorrow for the actual move or not, but let's while I'm here, why don't we go ahead and check regular trading hours? It looks like we wicked right down into about 50% of the gap. The opening range gap today, you're looking at about 100 points, almost even. So based on the opening range gap logic ICT lectured about last week? It's right in that sweet spot where it could fucking do it could do either or. It could fill the whole gap, or it could respect the gap and then trade away from it in the same direction that it opened. I think he said somewhere between 70 and 120 points was what he classified as the in-between. The in-between there on the opening range gap bias, if you will. So that checks out, boys. That checks out. Got London high right up here. Which has already been taken out by ES. That was the SMT. The only problem is when I mark everything up on this chart, and then I drop back down here to this chart where I'm actually going to be executing. All my markups aren't going to follow. I guess they would if I saved it all as the same layout. I'm making it hard on myself. Looking at the 5 minute. I'm looking right now for possible long entries. I'm liking what I'm seeing. If we could somehow get in on this move and take it up to London high and maybe beyond, boys. Ooh. 25 points, not bad. I'm trying to frame an entry here. Because you got this SMT at the low with ES. I love this reaction up. I'm looking for like a clean inefficiency to enter off of. You got this bullish breaker here. Perhaps that's all it really will offer. Maybe something will go. Yeah, the 5 minute just rebalanced. I was hoping maybe the 5 minute would leave something. Still a little early. Obviously, we're only 12 minutes into the opening range, so. But yeah, London high is in the crosshairs. Anybody already hop in longs here? I don't want to say it didn't give any opportunities. It definitely gave you a couple opportunities if you really wanted to take something, whether it be this bullish breaker, inversion here. I don't know if there's anything on a 30-second. Little tiny little fair value gap tap there on the 30-second chart. Yeah, that's kind of about it. This breaker's not bad. I just, you know, like if I'm framing just to low-hanging fruit target, the only thing I don't love about this, like I think it's high probability because of how close we are to the, like I'm almost like certain we're going here. But it's like, I'd really love to include these inefficiencies. I mean, some people would maybe want to put their stop all the way at the low. I feel like you could probably get away with it being a little higher up here in this exact scenario, but got a little 2-minute BPR down here. I'll tell you what, if it can offer this, I definitely like it. Whether or not this actually gets offered to us, we'll find out. Let me see if I can get an entry on this. Man, the stops are just fucking huge. These stops are ginormous. These stops are absolutely fucking bananas. I'm just going to put a limit and see if it picks up or not. I'm kind of thinking it won't get picked up because this breaker is holding. I don't know. I'm just trying to find a happy medium here on this entry. What's a guy got to do around here to get a trade? Come on. Had a buy limit. Did not get tapped in by a hair. That's the worst. Can you please explain when should I turn on the B edge and the set option, if you know what I mean? Yeah, you're on the continuous chart. You should always have the B edge toggled on if you're trading on the continuous chart. It just adjusts for the current contract or for contract changes. The set, I don't even know what the set does, if I'm being totally honest. I don't think I have that toggled on. I mean, you can see like my orders like follow, they mimic over here on the continuous chart, but yeah, the B edge should always be on. I guess the set, I don't know, I don't see set on mine. But yeah, if you're on the continuous chart, your B edge should be toggled. All right, might get this entry after all, boys. Entering off the 2-minute BPR, stop loss. I feel like my stop, if my stop were to get hit down here, like we're probably going to this low anyway. So I'm just trying to save myself a little bit of room and not have a stop that's, you know, bigger than my uncle. But giving it enough room where it, you know, might want to wick down. I don't know, maybe retest New York midnight. That's my logic there. We'll see. We'll see. I might not get this anyway. It keeps body closing right here at this breaker. I mean, does this make any sense to enter here and try to anticipate this being a breakaway? Or is that foolish? Might be foolish. Nah, I just don't love it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it as is. Either it gets me or it don't. There we go. Okay. It did tap me after all. We'll see if we get this follow through here to London. We got relative equal highs up here. I do like this. But just because I like it doesn't mean that don't mean shit. We do still have that SMT that hasn't failed yet. We got SMT at both sides of the market right now. SMT with London high, SMT with this low here. We'll see. We'll see. Could be dancing with the devil. Yeah, we're fucked. Oh my god. Well, I don't know. That's not the reaction I was hoping for. I'll tell you that. That is not it. That's not what I was hoping to see. Alrighty then. Why is that not working? There we go.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Yeah, boys. This is looking like a quick middle finger from the market. Unless we just get totally lucky with my stop placement being right below New York midnight. Luck and hope are never a good strategy, by the way. But, okay. Well, all right. I don't know. I'm done trying to call candle for candle. That shit don't work. We'll just let the chart do the work. My God. Well, we're back at entry. See, this is why I'm always with the stop loss placement on NASDAQ. Like, sometimes I get nervous being stingy with it because it's like sometimes these wicks on NASDAQ are just absolutely violent. Trying to seek and destroy my liquidity. Do I have any? No, I think that's the only one. I just play those memes to help me cope with a potential looming stop loss. And after a stop loss gets hit, it's like the only way for me to feel better about myself is by laughing at myself. We are in the macro, just now starting. Yeah, we already hit about 50% of the opening range gap, Muhammad, with this move down here. We kind of wicked into it at the open, but yeah, we could fill the whole thing. It was a 100-point opening range gap. The ICT logic that he lectured on last week was if you're between 70 and 120 points on the opening range gap, you kind of have to use other context to form your bias because it could do either or. It's kind of like a middle ground. So yeah, I thought we were looking more bullish on like the 15-minute hourly candles. Obviously, this hourly candle has flipped in a hurry. If it, I'll show you my other monitor here. This hourly candle has flipped to now being potentially bearish or just a doji. We'll see how it closes. Got 8 minutes left on it, so it could look a lot different by the time it closes, I guess, but showing respect at the moment, possibly to this 1 hour BPR. SMT on both sides of the market. We'll see. We'll see. I just really like these clean equal highs here up near London high. So if we're wrong, we're wrong. Probably won't be the last time. Yeah. Ooh. Why is my stream deck being gay? Well, there's that. Big fat L for toilet. But yeah, I think it's very high probability now that we go to this low and probably maybe even lower. So, yeah, I don't think the stop needed to be any lower than it was. We'll see how that statement ages. We got an SMT forming right now at the current low, so that's nice. ES trading into this inefficiency here, and Q lagging behind a little bit. Yeah, all of these are failing. 1 hour BPR looking like it's going to give us that bearish close, boys. Yeah, that was a tough read. I think if anything, you could have just maybe talked yourself out of taking any trade there if you were me in that instance, given that you could argue both sides. We'll make sure we journal it. Oh, well. Oh. Why don't you buy 20 accounts or something like that? Like the other YouTube traders. I mean, you have money to buy again if you fail. 20 accounts? Well, TossUp only allows 5. So I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to buy 20, but I'm also not like a huge I'm just not the biggest like advocate for copy trading. I really believe I don't want to say I really believe, but for me, I would just rather trade one account at a time. Because that way, like, everybody knows a losing streak is bound to happen at some point, right? Like, a losing streak will probably happen. So it's like, would I want to be copy trading all my funded accounts when that does take place? It's like, if I blow my shit up, I just, I'd rather blow one account and still have my other ones. So it's like a way to mitigate risk for me. So I'm not like the biggest copy trade fan necessarily. I'm debating if I want to take this short. I don't know, dude. It's just everything is so like I think I just need to sit on my hands here for a couple of minutes. I just took one trade, was wrong. It feels a little bit impulsive to just start hopping in another trade right away. I'm gonna see if I can sit on this till like the end of the hour, and I don't know. I might miss the move by doing that. Obviously, if you're looking for like a short-term low here, but the good news is, depending on how volatile we are today, like if we do spool to the downside, I would be interested in some lower levels, Monday low of day. So we got plenty of room to catch, a piece of the pie. 2 minutes left on this hourly. And yeah, we are looking bearish as fuck. Joy to the world. The Lord has come. So I'm going to look to see if I can find an entry here, potentially with this new hourly candle. The idea would be, obviously, if we stay bearish, because like, look at this hourly. I want to see this hourly close in a minute. My thought process is we could potentially see price maybe trade back up into this open. Use it as an hourly order block. Obviously, it's overlapping with this volume imbalance as well now. Closing below it with this candle. And then obviously the idea would be getting short in this hourly wick. Expecting another bearish expansion candle. So we'll try to snag a little something like that. All right. All right. Sounds good. Got a 5-minute fair value gap up there. Question is, breakaway or nah? We'll set it up the limit here from this fair value gap. See if it wants to tap into it. Tapping into it on ES right now. Okay. All right, I'm triggered in. Let's see if we can get this continuation short. It might want to work up a little bit higher. The open of the hourly candle that it might tap into the order block is 0.5. So like right here above the fair value gap here on the 1 minute. But wanting to see this be just a wick up and then big body candle down on the hourly. There we go, hitting the open. If this fails, all is fucked. And I'm definitely fucked. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. It's either that, I mean, I'll show you guys the hourly can I'm watching up here, my other monitor, but it's like, unless we just get a fucking wick from God, and I get stopped out and get absolutely shit on, but, you know, I'm not really keen on, like, 50-plus point stop losses, personally. Weekly open for me on this trade is kind of the last line in the sand. Hey, Pluto. Just finished for the day. One loss, one big win. Off the first fair value gap. Off the first fair value gap. I don't know which fair value gap you're referring to, but congrats. See if we can put in a swing high right here. Nobody breathe. Oh, great. My coffee's cold. Yeah. Fucking A, man. Come on. Don't you do it. I fucking suck at trading. I'm just kidding. Man, that is rough. We'll see if this ends up being just a barcode, dude, on the hourly. I'm over 2. I tried a long and I tried a short. Both got a fucked. Not a good day to be me. It's not a good day so far. That's tough. Yeah, look at this hourly. So the logic behind that was obviously seeing this close on the hourly the way that it did. Obviously, is how I lost my long. This BPR, strong close, body close back below here. I really wanted to see this obviously not have a giant wick up or potentially get a body close back the other way. This is just terrible, terrible price action if this is what ends up actually happening, I guess. But yeah, you know, it's just one of those moments for me. I literally said when I started doing my analysis that I could make an argument for both sides of the market, and then I took one trade both directions and lost both trades. So that's got to be, I really got to emphasize that journal, like, bro, just don't fucking trade. Just don't take a trade when you can easily do that. That's like the golden rule for ICT concepts. If you can form a bias both directions, but this short still has the opportunity to play out, given the chance that this ends up being like just some big wick here on the hourly. So I think it could still possibly be in play, but obviously you would need to wait for more structure at that point to validate that. That's tough. The joys. The joys. I don't know. I felt there was logic in both entries to some degree, but like I said, when you can frame the bias both directions, it's problematic regardless of whatever logic you think you might have. Clearly. Learn from me, kids. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm trying to play these memes in timely fashion for you kids, but my stream deck is lagging out like a mofo. Yeah, this is gonna be me after today.
Back where you fucking started, Wagey. Someone has to fucking flip the burgers, dumbass.
Come on. Yeah. Daily Sibby. Yep, Daily Sibby. The problem is so if for those of you guys that weren't on at the beginning of the stream, I kind of covered everything top down, what I was thinking. And it started off between the monthly and the weekly. I thought the weekly was showing a possible bullish scenario with us sweeping previous weekly low. And then obviously for the moment, for the week, was trading back up into that previous weekly range. And then, but as you scaled into the daily chart, we're inside of a daily Sibby, like Pluto said. So like I said, you could frame both sides. And then especially like on this 4-hour, I'll show you guys this 4-hour chart. I mean, right? Like this was part of that. This was part of the logic for going long initially. Traded down into here, bang. And then as we just scaled in, I thought it was looking bullish. The hourly flipped on me. It literally flipped me over and spanked me. Right as we're getting to the near end of that hourly candle. And then I flipped my bias. So I don't know what's going to happen. I just got to sit on my hands at this point, though. I know that. Wait a little bit. Wait a little bit. Maybe I'll get another trade here this hour. Maybe I won't. I don't know. If I end up walking away 0-2, that is what it is. Down about 1,400. So I would be okay putting another trade about similar size, probably one contract, obviously on risk again for a good trade, but it has to be a good trade. And clearly, I'm not seeing anything clearly at the moment. So, as of right now, I'm chilling. Day before CPI. Not making an excuse, just stating the obvious. But man, that's tough. For bullishness, like that really is a deep displacement. Or I'm sorry, deep retracement. That's deep. Pretty deep. Do we hit 886? Yep, to a T. When I traded supply and demand, 886, I used fib levels as well. And this is when I was trading NQ supply and demand. Bro, 886 level was like, I don't know, I kind of got superstitious with it at one point because it just like would almost snipe it. Obviously, there was tons of instances where it would never even get close to touching it and would continue in whatever direction it was headed. But well, yeah, let's while we're waiting here, we're outside the macro now anyway. But somebody had asked why the long trade was taken, and the long trade was taken, I guess a couple different reasons, but we had traded down into, I'll hide that for now, but traded down into discount of the range. So this is PPI, right? You know, you got our data highs and our data lows are still intact here on NASDAQ, essentially. So, but yeah, just looking, price trades down. We have these relative equal highs up here on NQ. This was the original reason for wanting to go long. We trade down into discount of the range, chop around a little bit. We get one more drive lower here at the open. We drive down at the open. We manipulate. We have an SMT divergence with ES. So as price had this move higher, this is where the original long idea came from, was basically from this BPR. So I scaled into a 2-minute. That was where my entry and my limit were set. Stop loss didn't really matter all that much because no matter where it was placed would have been ran out, but saved myself a little bit on that. And yeah, I wanted to get the run up here to London highs. We get another drive lower here at the macro open into the new hour, and then we get a 10 a.m. reversal. Pretty classic. But yeah, I think what threw me off, and I don't want to say threw me off because it's good logic, but like basically, yeah, just seeing that hourly candle close and give us a bearish change in the state was what made me feel comfortable jumping into a short. And you know, I think it would be easy to sit here and say like, okay, yeah, we're probably gonna go take out London high now. Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't disagree, but at the same time, if you've traded NQ long enough, you know that it's just as possible that we leave another lower high. Maybe even drives up higher and creates some equal highs again, and then we come all the way back down for the data low before going to those highs. Like, that's the only problem with like being in the middle of these ranges when you've got, you know, good liquidity pools on both sides. It's like this thing could do, you know, the complete unexpected, even though it might look super strong one way at the moment. Because we're just generating liquidity. Like, to me, this is what this is. Like, this is a lot of liquidity being engineered. Obviously going into the rest of the day, but, you know, tomorrow after CPI as well. So, you know. But let's do a little pulse check, shall we? Do I dare? I don't know if I dare. I'm curious. Well, before I do a pulse check and see how you guys have done so far, some of you guys might actually be in trades right now, so we'll give you guys a little bit. But yeah, curious. Sound off. Give me some feedback, boys and girls. What you guys were thinking with. Was anybody else tricked along with me today, or were you guys kind of sidelined, sitting on your hands, or did you just happen to have a crystal ball and play it perfect? I am actually curious. Give me your feedback, boys and girls. Took those longs ever since I've been waiting for 10 a.m. Letting 30 minutes go by from open, it's been way better for me. Yeah. Yeah. I started the stream like 10 minutes early today. Maybe that was my issue, boys. I'm usually doing the same thing Jap is, waiting for that opening range 30 minutes to play out before even looking to form a bias. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was I just thought it looked clear. I was pretty confident in the draw. But obviously didn't matter. No trade yet for Meta. Small partial, then break even for Dawson. Caught the shorts off the 5-minute IFEG. Caught the shorts off the 5-minute IFEG. Shorts off the 5-minute IFVG. Which one? This one? This one? This is a tiny little one. Long's not gold. Oh. Well, yeah, I think I'm just gonna stay patient here. Yeah, I would like to think that London High being traded to from this point in price would make a lot of sense. But as I may think that, this thing could just as easily come attack the lows first and then fucking bounce. So we're outside the macro as well. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit. I think what would make a lot of sense to me though would be, you know, if price does go attack this London high here at some point during this hour, you know, it could set up something, a reversal afterward to the downside. But yeah, we are absolutely generating liquidity for some point here to be taken out, that's for sure. That is for sure. Oh. The How do you guys feel like today's daily candle closes? On these indices. Do we respect the bearish fair value gap? Do we kind of just end up being a more of like a doji? And then tomorrow with CPI we get the actual expansion one way or the other. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that for a poll. Today's daily close. I'll be interested to see this. Bullish expansion, bearish expansion, or are we just going to be a doji chop inside of a range? If it's not bad if we do end up with a doji daily candle, because then, I mean, we can still play that range, you know, and it would just take a lot of patience waiting for, you know, the range, ideally, probably this high end of the range to be traded through and then seek a possible reversal from there. Would probably be the easiest, considering we're in a daily inefficiency. Pluto thinks we've already made the low of the day. Possible, yeah. See what I'm saying, boys? Like, look at this shit. like all the certainty in the world, the price should or could go to these levels up here. It's like, yep, fooled you, bitch. And we're free falling. 5-minute BPR. Look at this 15-minute candle. Oh my god. 15-minute chart's pretty crazy. 30-minute chart, kind of, yeah, good representation of what we're, yeah, just wicked here. Crazy. This is just a big inverse middle finger. So, yeah, could be waiting here for a little bit, boys. I'll give it to like 11 a.m. Obviously, this next macro coming up. See if something forms. My ideal scenario would be price to go take out this high, right, and then break down. But in the meantime, boys, I'm gonna go refill on my coffee. Hey, don't touch that dial. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Feel free to time me if you'd like. Time. We're back. Yeah, boys. Man. Sometimes you wake up, you know, you do your morning routine, you get ready for market open, and sometimes you just take 2 losses back to back. So, sometimes, you know, the market just gives you one of those days. Definitely my fault though. Definitely my fault. Walked into that trap. I know better. I should know better. But we'll journal and grow from it, boys. That's all we can do at this point. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? But yeah, somebody asked. Yeah, I took some trades. I assume you're late showing up. I'm not going to bother going over the thought process. We've already beat that drum. But yeah, I tried both directions here, short and long. And we are range bound, boys, which is no bueno. Unless you were trying to trade inside the range and play some ping pong, which I was not. I was not. Yeah, here's the executions. Here, I'm gonna screenshot. I wonder if I can get this all in one screenshot where it actually looks logical. Let me go to the 2-minute. It's always tough to, like, you know, I've been trying to capture all of the confluences in my thought process. Obviously, these, like, you guys hear me explain every little thing I'm thinking in the moment of a trade forming and then executing it is obviously way more valuable. But was trying to do the same thing here. You know, it's hard to capture all of my thoughts and then put it in a Twitter post. I just don't think it does the Where was my 35? Doesn't accomplish the same. But anyway, yeah, so this was the long. I might as well just screenshot it for now. Just going for low-hanging fruit. A little 1 to 2 here to London high. And then, yeah, flipped short after that. And we got another 88.6% retracement. So that's nice. I ended up taking this off of a 1 minute for value gap down in here. And also the hourly open order block, which was at like 21.05. Stop was above this high here. And I wanted to take that actually much lower. But yeah, these were the 2 losses. My entry was worse than that, I think, yeah. We'll just say it was right about there. All right. We'll get that image downloaded here. We got to journal it anyway, so. Fantastic. Desktop. All right. Saved for our viewing pleasure later. Bro, it's just nuts. She's just knocking futs. Man. Yeah, the literal best thing to do today was just not trade. Or you're playing ping pong. But if you're an ICT trader trading this right now, like I attempted, there's no way you're not getting just chewed up and spit out right now. You need a whole different strategy. Where's our... Yeah, we had a little VWAP open as well, boys. Good buddy of mine. He says VWAP opens are also always indicative of seek and destroy, as well as being prior to CPI. And economic calendar events of the like. What were the markets like last time this year? We were at all-time highs in January and I believe part of February at the beginning of 2024. It was I was very inconsistent. I was very streaky. I'll put it that way. I was very streaky at the beginning of last year, being at all-time high prices. Just like, you know, I'd win a few in a row, but then I'd lose a few in a row. It was like I could never, like, you know, you're always expecting some losses, but it's like you want to be like win, 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 lose, win, win, lose, win, 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 lose, lose, win, 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 lose, not win, win, lose, 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 win, lose, win, lose, win, 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 lose, lose, lose. And in retrospect, probably some days for sure that I did what I did today. Like I come on the chart, I'm doing my top-down analysis, trying to form a bias, trying to frame something. I'm literally saying out loud, you can make an argument for both directions, yada, yada, yada. What do I do as I scale in? I kind of let my bias, you know, be more solidified by what I'm seeing as I scale in. And then I take a trade and then I go, okay, well, if that didn't work, then clearly my bias is probably wrong. More data, probably going the other direction. And the reality is, didn't really matter, which it didn't really matter because this is what we're getting. So like, throw bias out the window at that point. But yeah, the golden rule of thumb, and this is the only reason I'm a little bit like, I know better. So I don't know. You know, I don't know if it's like the excitement of being on stream. I'm definitely not blaming being on stream for me losing trades. But I'm just, I don't know if like the excitement of me being on stream like makes me feel sometimes subconsciously like I need to press the button, I need to get in a trade, I need to, you know what I mean? And if that is the case, that's fine. I just, you know, I can't let that make me go against my own better judgment, if that makes any sense. Like, bro, it's just like, just sit on your hands. Who cares? So I'm talking to myself right now. But yeah, the golden rule is if you can frame a direction, if you can frame both sides of the market, you just don't trade. I mean, it's pretty easy, man. It's pretty elementary stuff. So that's the only thing I'm a little disappointed in myself with today. But it is what it is. You know, still managed risk. You're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be perfect. So I can beat myself up about it endlessly, or I can just suck it up, learn from it, and move on. I have been trading ICT, I mean, right around a few years now. And before that, I was doing supply and demand, which I've said before, like, I think there is a lot of crossover with supply and demand ideology. And you're still trading price action at the end of the day. And supply and demand traders, a lot of, like, they refer to themselves as smart money. Like, they're trying to position themselves with the institutions, hedge funds, right? The market makers, the big money in the markets, and using price action to identify those levels. Like, supply and demand, if I'm being honest, like, I'm sure definitional, like, if ICT were in the stream listening to me say this, he'd probably just lose his shit if he heard me say this. But in my opinion, supply and demand is like, so it might as well just be order block trading, to be honest. It's like, to me, there's not a whole lot of difference there. You were still looking for manipulation, liquidity, trade back into that last up close or down close candle, get that retest, boom, and then you're in. Like, you're setting a lot of limit orders, and either they're getting hit or they're not. So I really felt like coming from supply and demand and then like into ICT, it was really more so just incorporating a few things like SMT divergence. I never looked at SMT. I did look at divergence back in the day, but like I would use like an actual like divergence indicator, or I would use like the RSI, and like I would actually look for the divergence between the RSI indicator versus the actual structure. So I guess the only differences would be the actual SMT divergence. Trying to think what else would be different. Macros, like focusing in on a specific time window, for sure. Yeah, that'd probably be the biggest thing, would be like the element of time and the importance of it. Because like when you're trading supply and demand, I definitely was just trading price. Like, I didn't give a shit what time it was. Which is bad, because then you end up trading way too much. You're just on charts all the time. And then, you know, incorporating ICT, you're hyper-focused for a period, right? And then outside of that, you're kind of like, whatever happens, happens. Which is definitely a lot better for most people, including me. But yeah, I think I've been on the ICT train, if you will, for 3 years now, give or take. Any suggestions for who completed 2024 mentorship with notes being used? ICT concepts for 4 months, 65% bias is correct. That's awesome. Weekly, how do I continue? I am getting what he tells. How do I continue? I am getting what he tells when to sit quiet. Gudam, you didn't. I'm just reading your question now. I don't even understand your question. Any suggestions for who completed 2024 mentorship with notes and been using ICT concepts for 4 months? 65% bias is correct. Weekly. That sounds great. What exactly is your question? 65% correct? That's awesome. Sounds like you've pretty much got it down. I think most people would be jumping for joy with a 65% accuracy. But yeah, rephrase your question. Maybe I missed your question. I don't know. I apologize if I did. Yeah, normal risk Dargos. It was pretty volatile, a lot of points. So just did one contract and that was fine because I just wanted to, like, for the long, I just wanted low hanging fruit target. So that was identified and defined. You know, I'm not interested. I wasn't interested in partialing at all. Just riding it to there. And then my plan for this short. This is just crazy, dude. Bro, let's go. Hang on. Let me see. Bro, dude. So I went short off of this hourly order block, and I told you guys, I'm like, the only thing that could fuck this up for me would be like just a stupid wick. Like a crazy wick. Wait. My bad. Look at this hourly. I literally am like, the only thing that could fuck me is just a crazy wick on NASDAQ. And here we are. Crazy wick on NASDAQ. Who would have thought? Unreal. Like we knew it was going to happen. You know, but... Well... I feel like constructively, the only way for me to view that is I don't regret the short I took, because if we expand, like I think my entry gets hit and we see like little to no drawdown and price just rips. We've seen that plenty if you get an expansion day. And I took it in the macro as well, so like to me you have more confluence than we have like currently. So yeah, I kind of just view that formation being as like, yeah, probably gonna just be one of those tough losses, unless you're just gonna put an ungodly big stop loss on it. Yeah, but that was the only thing that could have hurt me, was that, and it, well, sure enough. Sure enough. Yeah, 2020. Oh, was he asking like what else he should watch from ICT? But here's the thing, dude. If you have a 65% accuracy, like what more do you want, bro? Like you're fucking probably good. That's the problem, is people think they need to, like, they get a model down, they learn something, and then it's like they feel like they just need to, like, what's next? What do I learn now? Like, what are you talking about? Just trade what works. You don't need another thing. Like, if you never watched another ICT video ever again, and you just had a 65% accuracy with what you already have and know, like, dude, you are so set. You're so set. The only thing that you need to worry about now is like controlling your emotions, not going on tilt, you know, not disrespecting your model, etc. Like those things, like those, and then those are the things that you refine as you go, I guess. But yeah, you definitely don't need more concepts. You don't need any of that. You don't need more technical analysis. And honestly, I think the more you add to your technical analysis, probably gonna hurt your win. Probably gonna hurt you. Probably gonna start messing your shit up. You'll go from a 65% accuracy predicting your bias down to like a 20% real fast. Tyler, did you like my Tangent Can't Drive tweet? I did like it. Just because I thought it was funny. I don't know if she can drive or not. And it's no disrespect to Tanja, but I'll just say this. I have a very colorful, sometimes also dark sense of humor. And listen, I'm not any of the is type of a person you could associate me with. Not a racist, not a sexist, not any of these things. But do I find... Listen, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Do I find racist and sexist jokes funny when I come across them on Twitter? You're damn right I do. What, am I going to not laugh? Am I going to not have any sense of humor? Yeah, let me just be triggered by everything. That sounds like a miserable way to live. So, yeah, I just find it funny. I don't know. I'm sure she can drive just fine. But that's funny. God forbid men enjoy themselves. Come on. You know? We don't mean anything. We don't mean anything, what's the word? Malicious by it. I mean, because that's the thing. Like, if you're going to be a traitor, like, bro, if you're going to be a traitor and you get triggered by such ticky-tack bullshit in the world, like, trading probably not for you, to be honest. NASDAQ will do you way dirty than words ever will. But yeah, if you have a 65% win rate, you're good. He stopped. What did he say here? I mean, I completed phase 1 challenge with CFD broker 3 weeks. I'm not getting nice setup, kind of less precise. I don't know. I am patient. I will be profitable. It's just how to stay focused in this phase as trader. Yeah, I mean, if you've done the back testing, you have the data enough to sit here and say you have a 65% accuracy. Well, that is exactly what should give you the confidence when you're going through a rough patch. When your model is maybe losing or you're not performing as well, you got to just fall back on like, okay, what does my data tell me? My data tells me that I still have an edge as long as I don't deviate from the edge. But that's the problem, and it's much easier said than done, because I think that's a mistake that a lot of people do make, is once they get a little bit of a rough stretch, losing streak, they just throw everything out the window and they kind of start jumping around. Well, then it's like all your data's gone. You're not even, what are you doing? You're just doing random shit. You know? So, yeah, dude, just stick with what you're doing, honestly. If it's working, it's working, right? Like, the streaks are going to happen. Like, it doesn't matter anybody's level of success, anybody that you might follow on social media or whatever, and they go, oh, you know, they might be the most paid out prop firm trader in the world, in the history of the world. They still are going to, they'll put together enough losing streaks at some point that would be, you know, account blown worthy. It's like, it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And it is what it is. All right. They're just better at managing that because they've been through it a billion times and they've made all the stupid mistakes enough times to know what happens when they don't stop themselves from being naughty, you know? But you're good. You're good, Gudam. Just keep refining and journaling, and sounds like you're well on your way. Be patient, wait for A+ setups with all confluences. Focus on low resistance liquidity conditions. Yeah, exactly. Change your name to MAGA Trades. Almost there, boys. A week away. A little less. Yeah, if you didn't take any trades today, you are sitting real pretty and are probably very happy with your decision. That's honestly the only thing that if I could change anything from today, like, even if my trades would have won, it just probably wasn't wise for me to start the stream saying I think it could go either way, and then I and then I take a trade both directions. So oh my god. Yeah, I don't miss Forex, I'll tell you that. Honestly, it helped me so much as a trader when I stopped looking at other stuff. Like, I can't tell you how problematic it was in hindsight to trade like a bunch of Forex pairs, gold, indices. Like, my goodness. I definitely think I would have shortened a lot of the journey, you know, if I didn't do that for so long. Like, if I would have just been focused on one thing from the get-go, like, think how much time and money you save. When we'll have good months like October, August, September, January has been shit so far in your experience? I mean, last week wasn't like terrible. We did all right. You know, here's what I'll say. Like, there's a group of traders out there in the world, I'm sure, that have the opinion of like, listen, just don't trade January, don't trade December, right? You've got those people that will say just like take the entire month of time off. That's an option. You can do it. Knowing most of you guys and just knowing people in general, that is actually probably not realistic for most people. Like, you're not going to take that long off without trading. And I don't think you have to take that long off, because I think that you're only going to get screwed on those in those times, in those months. Like, if you still got to be trading stupid. You still got to be doing stupid shit, you know? So if you're trading smart, you know, not, again, using me as an example today, not doing what I did today, like, make a argument for both sides, and I still traded. So it's like, those are the days that are important to recognize what kind of condition you're being offered and limit your downside as much as humanly possible. So, you know, I would say, yeah, you don't gotta like take off all these months or whatever. You just gotta be a little bit more diligent and a little bit more focused. And, you know, when shit don't go your way, you can't let it make you emotional to where you make bad decisions. Because like you'll still find good days and great trades. But here's what I'll also say, like, you can find shitty conditions any month. Like, it doesn't matter if it's fall, spring. It doesn't matter if it's October, November, September. It doesn't matter. Like, you're gonna find choppy days those months as well. You're gonna find shit days. So it's like, I feel like a lot of that stuff, a lot of this, like, when people speak in absolutes with trading, that's probably the thing that annoys me the most. I don't like when traders speak in absolutes, like, you know, this will happen always 100% of the time, and this is how it is. Trust me, I'm an expert. Like, don't listen to what anyone else says. If anyone says this, they're blah. Like, listen to me instead. And like, they just give you like an absolute statement, like, you know, you don't trade January, you don't trade December, like, or anything of that nature. That stuff just really bugs me, because, or just like a strategy, like, this model is always correct. This model is never wrong. Bro. Literally nothing is 100% in trading. Not one thing. So you can't even talk like that. If you're an honest individual, you can't speak like that about the markets. But speaking like that is how you demand authority over an audience. That's why they do it. When you talk like that, You know, people don't have to believe what you say. They just have to believe that you believe what you're saying. Does that make sense? They just have to believe that you believe what you're saying. And how do you make someone believe that you believe what you're saying is true? Well, you got to speak with an absolute undertone. Does that make sense? Yeah, this is wild though. We took out this low now. SMT with ES. We are in the macro. So I've been just watching price here, boys and girls. I'm not. Just relax. Little SMT divergence with E-mini S&P. Scale into a 1 minute here. I don't know. Let's see if we get some displacement up. If we do, I think a long could maybe be feasible here, but it's got to show it to me. Show me something. Right? Show me something. That's not bad. See if we can get a retouch of this. Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to go for it, boys. Last trade of the day. Similar, yeah. 765 risk, so. Just got triggered in here. Stops at the low. I'm just going for the recent high. Inversed this 1 minute for value gap. We're in the macro. SMT with the low. We'll see. Last trade. Either going to be 1 and 2 or 0 and 3. I'll be 0 and 3 if this SMT at the low does not hold. Essentially. Cutting deep real fast. This one looks like it could be over early. Bro, you traded today? Yes, I did. I'm starting to regret it. But I'll be done. I'll be done after this. I have no choice. I'll be 0 and 3. Yeah, I'll be done, man. I'll close my computer and I will fucking not return to these charts until tomorrow. Rough. If you're new to ICT, how would you start? Define new. I hate that you're new to ICT and your first experience is watching me hit stop loss. I feel like that doesn't really sell you on the logic too much. But yeah, if you're new, I would say, I mean, a lot of people that were new to ICT started with 2022 mentorship. We keep forming bear. Fuck. I'm just gonna cut this trade. Get me out. I'm cutting it. I'm cutting it. We're forming bearish for value gap. We're respecting. I don't like this. I don't like it one bit. I'm 0 and 3. I cut that one a little short. I'm down 1900 for the day. Yeah, I gotta be done there. I'm done trading for the day. I'll answer the questions in the chat though. One sec. Yeah. Yeah, it just wasn't my day. I gave back a nice chunk of what I made last week. Woo! Let's go. But yeah, okay. So if you're new to ICT, I would say 2022 is probably a good place. It's probably a good place to start. 2022, the 2022 model. I've got a lot of stuff on my channel that could be helpful. I still would obviously recommend going to the source and watching his core content. Watching as much of his content as you can. It just kind of depends. Like, I don't know what kind of learner you are. Some people don't find value in listening to all of his rants for 2 to 3 minutes of value. Some would argue that there's a lot of value in those rants if you actually absorb them and take them in. Fair enough. There's a lot of resources out there, though, to be honest. I'm one of many traders that have content and education on ICT concepts and the concepts specifically that I utilize. I think you'll learn a lot from like just me talking about stuff on streams here and me going over stuff. Today, one of the most important things I will say as ICT traders, like, you really do have to respect the economic calendar, because the reality is, as ICT traders, we perform best when the market is spooling, expanding, distributing. That's where we thrive. I don't want to speak for everybody, but for most of us, and knowing how most ICT traders are trying to trade in these markets, when you are met with a day like today, it's problematic, which is why if you can recognize it and then just not trade, that's probably the best case scenario. But you got to look at the economic calendar as to reasonings as to why. I have a video about this on my channel, kind of going over what to look out for. Now, the main things off rip, no news Monday, which we had yesterday, days before the big news drivers of every month. So like the day before CPI, which is today, you can expect and anticipate more often than not a little bit more choppy price action, a lot of manipulation, a lot of back and forth, kind of these big ranges and generating liquidity. It makes it hard because, like I said, we're trying to capture a move where we're breaking out essentially and expanding. And when you're not getting that, it's hard to do that, right? So economic calendar, you got to pay attention to it and really honor it. Like, it's so easy to look at Twitter, social media, and you see all these people fucking posting their wins all the time. And they're trading every single day, and they're posting these wins that you don't know if they're real or fake, or they're just only showing you the wins and not showing you the losses as well. Like, there's so much behind all that like most people don't see. But it causes a lot of viewers to look at that and say, oh, I'm just going to trade every day. Or I'm going to expect to trade every day and expect to catch a move every day. Like, you can tape read and be on charts every day, but that doesn't mean you should expect to take a trade every day, right? If anything, you should show up to the market, expect not to take a trade. And if you do get, your setup offered and you execute it, that's just kind of like, okay, great. But economic calendar, definitely a big deal. So day before CPI, day before NFP, no news Mondays. FOMC, like trading the morning of FOMC is problematic. FOMC meeting minutes actually, oddly enough, has been problematic, trading in the morning of that as well. And then like a couple other things can have an impact, like if there's earnings coming out for like Nvidia, Meta, Google, Microsoft, things like that. Usually it's on a Wednesday, and generally it's like the third week of a month. And you can see it here on TradingView with the earnings and then toggling the market cap to the biggest. You're looking for the $1 trillion market caps, basically. So maybe let's see if there's some next week, maybe. Oh, shit. But like when you see like an Nvidia earnings on a Wednesday, it can just kind of tell you like the morning of could be kind of similar to this, because price is anticipating all these news events, all these news drivers is the injection of volatility into the market, right? So everything that's going on in the market prior to these big events like CPI tomorrow, we're just kind of anticipating the injection of volatility that is on the way. So that's why it tends to create these conditions. And yeah, when you're in these conditions, like ICT traders like myself, like I take losses. It is what it is. I like this trade here. Like this is kind of the model I look for. What is that model, you ask? The model is being in a macro. Macros are very important to me. Here's your macro window, which we're in right now. Price is just selling off like crazy now. Inside this window of price, we had the setup form. That's why I took it. But like when things set up like this, like inside these macro windows, like that's why that short setup in the macro over here as well. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. It's a lot easier for me to just like I just execute. I don't really think too much. And it's just because I have that much confidence in me having an edge over time doing that. Like I don't know how else to explain it other than that. Yes, losses are going to happen. It's not going to be perfect, but SMT divergence, boom, we disrespect the very first opposing PD array. I'm like, okay, boom, take it. If it fails, it fails. But I also know what it should look like when it happens. When it happens, it should be fast. It should be painless. Like I should not have to experience hardly any drawdown, if any, if it's going to work. So like seeing this close here, we leave the fair value gap here. I watched it wick into that and come out. I closed it. I just know it's not going to work because it shouldn't even look like that. But yeah, I don't know. When I see everything, the SMT divergence in the macro, I'm anticipating kind of a continuation, more of the same of what we've got, just being in the range. So yeah, I took a stab at it, but I would just chalk up today as like I did a poor job recognizing and respecting the economic calendar. But like I'm trying to tell you guys, like do as I say, not as I do. Like I fucked up today. I don't know I don't know how else to describe it. That's all I did. It's on me. I got to learn from it. Paid the price for it. I'm down. Red day as a result. So that's all the punishment I need. So I got to learn from that. But yeah, I just didn't respect the economic calendar today. Day before CPI. Was a little bit too trigger happy. You could say maybe, but that's it. And then from there, bro, it's just literally experience on the charts. Like don't put all this like, oh, I got to finish every fucking ICT video on fucking YouTube before, you know what I mean? Before you're like good to go. Like it's so far from the truth. The reality is you need a few things. You need a few concepts, understand the concepts, take a little bit of time, do some back testing, see these things repeat in price, and then form a plan around it. What's your plan going to be? How many trades are you going to take? What session are you going to trade? Like what's going to be your max loss limit? Those are the things you got to have in place, and then you can tweak them as you go. And it's going to be a little bit of a process, but like from that point, the only thing you need is experience. You just need to get used to seeing these candles print, setups play out, yada, 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 right? So that's where you start with ICT concepts. Gamer Beats, what did he say? Oh, I don't know why I blocked your message, Gamer Beats. You were just saying thanks to someone, I think. Why is it blocking? It's blocking all your messages, Gamer. Did I miss something? I don't know what happened. Oh, it said you posted a link. Must have been on accident. Can you do a vid about looking at earnings and how they impact the market? I can, but the video would be like a minute long. It wouldn't be very long. It's so easy. It's just what I just went over with the calendar. You don't need to worry. Don't put too much stock into it. Is what I'm like. Don't think that this is yet another thing where you're like, oh my god, this is another thing where I'm not allowed to trade or whatever. Like you don't necessarily have to put that much stock into it. These are just things to be mindful of. What you don't want, here's what you don't want to have happen. You don't want to have happen where you're fucking trading one day, you think it's supposed to just like, okay, it's just gonna be a normal day. And then you're like, for the life of you, you can't figure out why market is moving funky. And then all of a sudden, end of market hits, and we just get this huge move one way or the other. And you're sitting there like, where the hell did that come from? Like, what the hell? And you're sitting there on Google trying to figure out, like, did we just like have a terrorist attack or something? Like, what just happened? Right? And then you find out, oh yeah, we had NVIDIA earnings. Oh, okay. So like, it's just, you want to be aware of all these things. Just as a individual that's involved in the markets, you want to be aware. So you're never caught off guard, right? But it's really as easy as looking at this economic calendar and, you know, just, you could do this you can make this like a part of your routine if you wanted. Like, just come if you want to be safe. You really only got to worry about Wednesday, to be honest. Tuesday through Thursday, I'll say Tuesday through Thursday. And all those big earnings are always after hours. Like, do you need to worry about? Like, they're at like 4 p.m. or whatever. So a lot of you guys aren't even trading that time. And some people decided to just take the day off and wait till the next day after that volatility injection. But that's all the stock I would put into earnings calendar. Just something to be aware of is all. You know, that's about it. Took the short setup. Nice. Yeah, CISD is changing the state of delivery. Am I going to consider the short? No. Nope. I already tried. I'm done, dude. I'm 0-3 today. I can't trade anymore. I can't. I struck out. I don't deserve the right to trade anymore, to be honest. And yeah, I don't know. I don't trust the market right now. So it is kind of unfortunate. My short bias here on the hourly candle kind of playing out is what it is. My draw for the short was, I was just going to look for Monday low, ES or NQ. So ES could easily beat NQ to the punch, form an SMT there. So that would be something to be mindful of if anybody is participating in shorts from kind of that thought process. There you go. That's where I was going to leave my trade on for. Obviously, if you have the ability to, you could partial, but yeah, I was going to let it ride. 694. Internal to external. Daily fair value gap. To the low. And then I guess if you look to the left, you got more lows here. Talked about the October and November monthly lows on ES at the beginning of the stream. Right here. So yeah, that'd be my draw, but that's about it. That is about it for your boy. Let me see if there's any more questions. I might have missed some. Yeah, CISD definitely. CISD is just, it's also another term for order block. So again, nothing new, just another another term. That's one thing with if you're new to ICT concepts, you'll quickly learn there's a shit ton of terminology. And it seems to be never ending. And you got propulsion blocks, order blocks, mitigation blocks, rejection block. You got every sort of breaker block. You got every sort of block you could think of. But don't overthink it. So, what time is it? 11:12. So we're outside the macro here as well. Yeah, man, if you are in these shorts, I wish you good luck. I am a little bit sad that I kind of feel like I got the short end of the stick with This long wick kind of being my downfall for that short. But that is just life sometimes, I guess. That will happen. But I'll learn from today, get better. That's all we can really do. But yeah, man, I will be back live tomorrow for CPI. Same time, same place. I do appreciate you guys showing up. Hopefully, you guys took away some value from any of the rambling and the yapping today. I don't know if you got any value from watching me hit stop loss, but other than maybe some enjoyment. Some of you sick SOBs are into that. If so, I'm glad I could bring some joy to your life. But, all right, guys, enjoy your Tuesday. I will be back. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. See you guys. Have a good one.
Our trade sits at his desk, coffee in hand. The NASDAQ chart's on his screen, he's in command. He's a day trader, chasing dollars and dreams. Using ICT concepts, he's got some tricks up his sleeves. From Fibonacci retracements to volume spread analysis, Tyler knows the smart money, he's gaining an advantage. He watches the market like a hawk in the sky. With every tick and every turn, he's catching the high. Running with the smart money, kicking up dust. Tyler trades a day trader you can trust. Dancing with the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks, he's a millionaire. With the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks, he's a millionaire.